been a long day.
Yeah, it's really early for you, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
At this point, I've nearly reached 24 hours.
Oh, wow.
Good. Oh, wow.
Yeah, good.
But
Yes, we love sleep deprivation.
who cares? Because it's still your birthday.
Yay!
Birthday.
For y'all,
For us, it's still your birthday.
For us, it's still your birthday.
Mhm.
Yay.
So we're still gonna celebrate it like it's your birthday.
It is my birthday. It's my birthday, and I cry if I want to.
Indeed, because we definitely didn't film these back to back. Of course not. What are you talking about?
No, why would we?
You definitely rewore the same clothes.
No, we're definitely not wearing the exact same clothes we were in the exact same positions that we were. No, of course not. No.
You're silly.
What? Whatever. Hello, Europe, Australia, and the world. Welcome to the CUP ESC, part of the Currently Unnamed Podcast Network, where we put the real and the tea into ESC from top to bottom, honey. I'm Logan Murphy. I say something gay. Gay, I am still working on my coffee cake coffee. If you checked out our semifinal 1 predictions video, which you should check out, available on the channel now, if you are watching at the time that we are dropping this, which is after we dropped our semifinal 1 predictions video. Also, Cup Mug, woo! LanaGcreations.sc.com. The link is in the description below. And we do ship domestically within North America, as well as to Europe, Australia, and the world. So there are no excuses. Go get your merch. Thank you very much.
Look at how glossy they are. Look at how
I know.
Like, I'm just saying, it's like less than $10. And this is a quality mug. This is like a hot cocoa kind of mug right here.
It is. It definitely is.
Ooh.
And yours is going to have the updated logo where it's on this side and this side. Like, I mean, really?
Yeah, how fun. Hola, I am Eduardo, the Mexican representative of this podcast. I am here to talk shit and get hit. I survived Luma's attack for my teeth. I am still alive. And therefore, I am a little obsessed with Luma taking Kyle's teeth. I'm a little obsessed. I will not let it go. I made a drawing of it. So
Like
I just cannot let it go.
Also, there's an updated photo of Lumo next to Gojo. Gojo is tall, but Lumo is slightly taller than Gojo, so I'm
That's a little scary.
Yeah.
I'm loving Lumo, by the way. Just for the record, I love this so much.
He's so scary. I love him.
I'm good.
Diva down.
No, thank you.
No.
No. Thank you. No.
Well, hi everybody. I'm Brook, and I'm passionate about pop culture. I am really excited because I think semifinal 2 is going to be crazy, and I can't wait. Speaking of which, water, because hydration is very important. I miss Brandon, even though he never comes on this channel.
I was gonna say Brandon's not on this channel.
I know, but no, he's the one that always says hydration is very important. That was him. That's his bit.
It is.
My name is Lewis. I come to Eurovision for Beats. For my birthday, I got a voucher for Uber Eats.
I think that is one of the best intros you may have ever had, Lewis.
Yeah,
you.
actually.
Little quartet. Good job. You nailed it.
Good job, Lou. Oh, sleep deprived Lou is fun.
This is me. This is gonna be me every night in Euro Club.
Yes.
Poor Nebulosa is gonna see me front row, just like, just like nodding off.
Zorra.
No, but it's just gonna be Zora because he can't roll his R's. He's white.
Yeah, that's right. I forget. Zora.
Zora.
I mean,
Zora.
Where's the lie, Lewis?
Why are they not being an interval act? Where's
I'm sure they
Nebulosa?
at this point, why am I not an interval act?
Exactly.
Yeah, who isn't?
I mean, hell, Alcazar was an interval act without having ever represented at Eurovision. Why not Louis Thorpe? Real questions. The real question.
But the real questions are, who do we think is qualifying out of semifinal 2? And that's what we're here to talk about today. So we're going to talk
Good segue.
about the thank you very much. I'm actually kind of proud of that one. So we're here talking about the 10 songs each that we think will be qualifying out of semifinal 2 of Eurovision 2025. This time, I think we each actually have a different list for one.
Oh God.
I think we each have a different list this time. I could be wrong. I didn't check it, but I think we each have a different list. So
leave it down.
We will be talking about our lists, giving our thoughts, talking about rehearsals, because our semifinal 1 predictions video also kind of became a rehearsals review, which I'm not mad at. I'm here for it because I don't think we're doing a dedicated rehearsals video either. So I'm cool with talking about it.
Ain't much to talk about.
Exactly. So we're gonna give our predictions and also talk about the little bit of rehearsal footage that we've gotten and photos and whatever. So
like half of these at time of filming.
At time of filming, we don't have much, but we'll talk about as much information as the EBU is allowing us to have this year.
Granted, we're not complete with first rehearsals yet, so
True. We
at
have
least
even less for this one.
Especially, yes.
Regardless, we're gonna talk about it. Before we do, make sure to subscribe if you've not already, because we're here almost all the time giving you almost all things Eurovision Song Contest. If you have not checked out our full review of the songs for Eurovision 2025, make sure to go check out our 4-part series on the road to Basel, where we did a full in-depth talk on all of the songs, whether we loved them, hated them, or were somewhere in between on them. We did some long-form content on that, so make sure to check that out. That playlist is going to be linked in the description below, or will be at the end of this video, so make sure to check that out. If you did not check out our semifinal 1 predictions video, make sure to go check that out as well. Literally same format as this video is going to be, except it was semifinal 1. That's literally the only difference. And make sure to check out the description below, where you can find our audio podcast links, as well as our other YouTube channels, our Patreon, our social media, merch link, all that is in the description below. And once again, big shout out to Sarapred on YouTube for the wonderful graphics that we are using for the logos that we have, as well as the thumbnail photos that we've used in previous videos. Big shout out to them as well. Thanks, Diva. Their links will be in the description below as well. So, Diva.
Wrong semifinal.
Wrong semifinal.
No. She can
but
show up.
There's never enough time for Melody.
I love, especially in pre-party season, when because her English is very broken, she would just sing. She would just sing "Essa Diva" the entire way around.
Diva.
Also, I love that interview about Katy Perry that she did.
Cause sure,
right?
Cause sure, I love
Why
her.
not?
But without further ado. Hey, Brook, why don't you talk about your semifinal 2 qualifiers?
I absolutely will. Okay, so for the record, I just want to establish now, I made a rule, which was I don't give a damn if there's a country or a pseudo country that is claiming to be a real country that is going to qualify from semifinal 2. I will take the fact that at most I can get 9 countries in this video and be okay with that. So here we go. I'm manifesting a Malta win in the semifinal. I think we are going to have a really interesting time where I think, and this is just my prediction, that Austria and Finland are going to pull votes away from each other a little bit. And I think a girly pop song. Oh, goodbye, Eduardo.
Bye, Eduardo.
Oh, I don't like this.
Oh my God, final 3.
Oh, this is so sequester coded. Can we not?
Oh my God, final 3. Oh my God, final 3. Final 3.
This is far too thin of a box for me.
I can't. You can't even see my entire cheeks. Like, no, thank you.
Oh my God, I feel
Eduardo,
so
come back.
Skinny.
Oh, thank God.
Thank God.
Skinny.
I'll return. Sorry.
Yeah, don't ever do that again.
Never do that again. I think because Malta's a really straight down the line girly pop song, as much as I love my girl, this is my favorite song of the year also. I really think Mariana Conti is winning the semifinal. I don't know. I mean, there's other people that obviously could win it. I just think it's going to be Mariana. Then I have Austria and Finland. They are the other two countries that I am like, they are qualifying. If anything else happens, oh dear God, what the fuck, right? I will be shocked if they're not in the top 3 for the semi. I think they are both incredible songs performed by incredible performers with really cool and unique staging that we've seen and have heard about, because Finland is basically keeping everything the same from what we've been told. So I'm excited there. Czechia, I was kind of struggling on where to place the next 3 on my list, because I feel like that is 4, 5, 6, and I'm just not certain of the order of 4, 5, 6. But I just went with the order that I think is most likely. I don't think there's really a song in the semifinal that sounds like Czechia, and I think that's going to help them out a lot. The closest thing is The Man That I Shall Not Speak Of, and quite frankly, this is infinitely better than that song, so I'm expecting a lot of votes to be coming Adonis's way. Greece, y'all know I love my girl. I have loved Claudia from day one. I want her to win this semifinal almost as much as I want Mariana to win it. The song is gorgeous. I'm rooting for you, girl. Top 5 in the semi, please. Please. And then top 10 in the jury, and then you get 10th. Dojo's qualifying. I'm just a little bit worried that it might put some people off, which is kind of where I put it at 6th. I think that was around the right spot for it. Lithuania was hard because a lot of people have been negative online today about Lithuania. A lot of other people have been like super positive about Lithuania online today. And quite frankly, here's what it is. If it's for you, it's for you. And if it's not for you, it's not for you. But this song will be in the final. Mark my words. And if I'm wrong, I'll be really sad because I think it should be in the final. Denmark. Just Denmark. Have you heard her sing live? Yes, you have, because it's amazing. She's great. This is all qualifying. Moving on. La Poupée Monte le Son. Na 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 na.
Na, na, na.
Laura is in a weird spot in the semi where I think she's gonna qualify, but I really don't know where. Like, Laura Thorne could come anywhere from like 4th to 10th in this semifinal, and I'd be like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. That tracks. And then because I took out watermelon. I had to look through the other countries, and I think the one that I think has the best chance of qualifying out of those is Ireland, but I refuse to predict that. So because of that, I then went with my second choice, which was Armenia. I think Parg has updated his staging in a way that I think is helpful for him. I think his new look that he's rocking for this performance is infinitely better than whatever the hell he was wearing during the national final, and I still cannot pronounce the name of. At the beginning of the during the season.
Depi Evresatil.
That
I believe is what.
Yeah. I think it's great. I think it's an improvement, and I mean his vocal has never been a struggle. So really? I'm sorry, it's not a bad vocal. He is doing good. The song is just not very interesting. That's the problem. I think out of the countries that are currently slated not to qualify, I think this is the one I find the most likely. Outside of Denmark, of course, which I think Denmark is qualifying point blank in the period. So there you go.
Yeah, nothing here, like everything here from what I know of you and your likes and dislikes of this year, everything makes complete sense. I think this is taking out the obvious factor, I think this is a very realistic list for the year. So
realistic, pass it on.
But again, this semifinal is so interesting that I think genuinely, I still, a week before the contest, I am sitting here saying I think every single song in this semifinal -1 could qualify.
Yeah, I unfortunately agree.
I think every single song in this semifinal, minus Georgia, could qualify.
I agree with that exact sentiment. I really hope that the songs that I think are putting in effort and really trying to be unique and different, or really trying to push the envelope in a new way that really hasn't been done, or are just flat out brilliant, right? There are some of these songs that aren't reinventing the wheel. I'll be real. hallucination, not reinventing the wheel, but Sisal is so incredibly talented that
Brilliant.
I want it for her, right?
Yeah.
I hope those are the people that make it through. That's where I was going. I was going based off of fan reception too. Out of the songs that are not slated to qualify right now, Sisal is by far the most popular person on socials to me.
Yeah.
So
and
I hope
she's in such a good spot too in the semifinal. Like she's coming after a big bombastic ballad, whether you enjoy France or not. Like it is going to be a big bombastic ballad with a break. She's going to come back with a big, like from what we understand of Sisal's staging, it's going to be big. It's going to be, you know, reinvented from her and from her NGP staging. I think she's got a good shot for sure.
I agree.
So,
like...
Eduardo, let's see. I mean, I already know what you because I made it, but let's take a look at what you have.
Very similar. Very, very similar. Brook and I only have one country that we have differings, which makes sense. Brook and I seemingly have similar tastes.
I will tell you right now, they came very close to making my list too.
That's fair.
And we'll talk about why they didn't later, but go ahead.
That's fair. Yeah. I do have Austria winning the semifinal. Why? Just simply based on the quality of the song. There's no song like it, and I think that it has a potential to be liked by both casuals and hardcore fans. And so there's a lot of potential here. And Sergio is also doing the staging, so it's also going to be great. You just know that. So
it sounds great.
Yeah, it sounds great from the little... This one's one of the ones that I have actually read, and it sounds great. So I think it's going to do just well. I think it's just going to do perfectly, and I think it could definitely win the semifinal. My other contender for winning the semifinal is Finland, though. I do think that Erica has a lot of fans and has a lot of potential of getting a lot of votes thrown on her. I just think that like it's a song that's a little more divisive than Austria, because I did find myself at first not really caring for the song, and I did love Austria's song first listen. So there might be people that don't connect to the song instantly, and so that's why I have it second. But there's obviously a huge following for Ishkome, so it's gonna qualify. It's gonna do well. It's gonna be top 3. That's my prediction, and I think second is about right. My number 3 is Malta. It's Mariana. She is, I think, the most charismatic artist that we have this year overall. She's so beloved and so well liked. The reason why she isn't like in my winner contention is because I do have a feeling that some people are gonna find it very like niche or very like, I don't know, it might not hit as well for some people, like for some casuals or for the mimosa sipping moms that are going to be watching. They might not connect to this song. And so it might not win, but I think it's going to do pretty well. Same thing can be said with Australia. I think it has a lot of fans and it's in a very similar vein. However, I do think that like the wine sipping moms and like very young audiences might not connect to this song, but the same people that would be voting for Tommy Cash are going to be voting for this one. And also, I think it's just like a super fun song, and it's going to have a lot of fans, so it's going to do well. And fifth, I have Czechia, just based simply on the vocal. Adonis's vocal is incredible all on its own, and so it's going to qualify. There's no doubt in my brain about that. I just think that the other 4 have more fans than Adonis, but I think it's going to do great. I think it has a lot of potential of getting a really good placement. Now, with Lithuania, I had a tough time placing it because I've seen very mixed feelings about this song, but just based on the fact that it is around this placement in the odds, I believe, and also the fact that I am biased towards them, I did put them in sixth position because I think it's a really interesting song that there isn't much similar to it. So therefore, I think it has a lot of. It's probably going to qualify. I just don't know exactly where. I could see it getting anywhere from fifth to 10th, and that would make sense in my brain. Up next, I have Greece. I would like to put this a little bit higher. Unfortunately, I have seen a couple people on my Twitter saying that they don't connect to this song, unfortunately, which to me is wild because I really, really do like this song. But I cannot deny that there are people out there that are not connecting with the song and are kind of not sure if this is going to qualify. And so that hesitancy has stuck with me. And so I do think they're going to qualify, but I think they're going to be just a little lower than I would like them to be. These next three are my wild cards because these next three could NQ and I wouldn't be shocked. But these are kind of my hard picks that I like kind of see qualifying more than any of the other ones that I chose to not include. In eighth, I have Luxembourg. I think this is the most safe qualifier out of the three. I think it has a lot of potential. It's going to be cute and it's going to be well liked by the younger audiences, I think. And there's a lot of French-speaking countries, I think, that are going to be listening to this song and are going to understand what they're saying. France is here, so they're probably going to give them a lot of points. And Austria is also here, so they're also going to get a lot of points from them. So there's people here that is definitely going to vote for this song. And so I do see it qualifying, but I'm just a little more hesitant than I would like it to be. And we don't have any staging idea so far, or from what I've seen. So
From Luxembourg?
From Luxembourg.
She's keeping things pretty much the same.
Okay.
Which
so
I don't mind, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing because the staging was pretty much Eurovision ready, I would say, from Luxembourg Song Contest. Like, she's improving the dancing, she's tightening up the choreo a little bit. But overall, she said, like, not much is changing, and I personally don't mind that.
Okay. Well, as I said, my only worry about this was elevating the staging. And if she is doing that, then I think she has a lot more potential. And that's also why I put her the highest out of these three wildcards. In ninth, I have Latvia. This is a little bit more of a hard pick than anything else. I think Latvia is so unique and so different than anything else that we're getting in all of the year, both semifinals. And so I think that there is definitely a niche there that it's filling, and people that like folk are going to gravitate towards this and are going to be voting for this. And I just really love the Tau Tomatoes. Like, I've been following them, and they just seem like such kind human beings that are so interested in getting to know everyone around them and just getting everyone to know about the Latvian culture, which I really appreciate as well. So I really, really want them to qualify, and I think ninth is a possible placement for them to end up in if they do qualify, ninth or 10th. You could switch this one with Denmark, which is the one that I put on next, and I wouldn't complain much. I put Denmark 10th because although I do like it more, I do think that it is a little bit more basic. It is a radio-friendly pop song, and there's definitely a group of people that are going to vote for that. I definitely would if I were voting this year. But I also see a lot of people being hesitant about voting for them because it's not reinventing the wheel. And so I am not too sure about its qualification possibilities, but I think Sisal is very well liked, and the people that are following Sisal and following a lot of the people that are in the semifinal that know about Sisal may vote for her. And so I think there is definitely potential there. And if the staging is elevated, which she has said she is planning on elevating it a lot, I think there is potential of this qualifying. But I do see it getting at most 9th, unfortunately.
Fair.
Something I wanted to mention with Latvia. First off, big Eurovision, yay, Latvia!
Yay!
Big Eurovision! Oh my God, we're a week away from big Eurovision! Yay!
Yay!
That's crazy.
Oh my God, Lewis, you're going to Big Eurovision next week! Yay!
Oh my God, yeah.
But something else I wanted to mention, Latvia was the other country I debated between putting on my list.
Mhm.
And the only reason I ultimately went with Armenia is because I feel like Latvia has other songs that fit within that same area and not necessarily the same cultural influences, because obviously you're going to be looking at different stuff across every country here, but more specifically that I feel like there's not really another straight down the line rock song in this semifinal, as even if Lithuania is close, right?
Mhm.
I just feel like there's less opportunity for people to push their votes in other directions than there is for Latvia. But if they did qualify, I would be pretty excited. I'm not gonna lie.
Mhm.
2 surprise Latvian qualifications in back-to-back years. Maybe people will stop sleeping on them.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for my I was rooting for my bald-headed king last year, and I'm rooting for my big Eurovision queens this year. Spoiler for my list.
Also,
I might also have
new
Latvia on my list.
Their new outfits, by the way,
Gorgeous.
Great.
Oh my lord.
So beautiful.
The other thing I forgot to mention with Malta, and I can't tell if we're being lied to or misled or if anything's going on, but if I see Mother Sarah Bonici as a backup dancer,
No, it's
I
it's
can
not.
I can
It's
say that.
not.
No, she left. She left. There's a photo of them hugging at the airport, and there's a post from Sarah saying, "All right, it's time to say goodbye," and whatever. So
Yeah, she was, because they have the tradition of and I love this, that the Maltese delegation has this. Year on year, they've passed on like the torch, basically.
Mhm.
right, but I think Sarah was heavily involved with Miriana's at least
creative
choreo.
process.
Yeah, creative process.
but
Yeah,
she's one of the best dancers we've had at Eurovision in years. So
Well, yes, and she
yes.
qualified, but that's beyond the point.
Imagine.
But they've
If you
also
want to hear
had
a
that
rage
thing.
about Sarah Bonici not qualifying, go tune in her semifinal 2 reaction last year.
I'm still pissed. Beyond the point. Miriana will rectify for both Sarah and the busker, so it's okay. It's fine.
And I am what I am.
And you know what? Sure. And for her, that's fine. Because she also did deserve to qualify. I will say that, even though Out of Sight should have been her song, but that's beyond the point. No, but yeah, I do love that they have the thing where year on year they've done the video where they've passed on the torch, and I think that's really, really cute for Malta to do.
Mhm. I agree.
Imagine if the busker all this time did the choreo for Loop and we had no idea.
No,
I buy it.
That'd be
I
wild.
would cry.
There's some multi-talented men. I could see it.
I would like to know just how multi-talented they are. All right, Lewis.
Hello.
Ah!
Now,
The aftercare.
now, this needs. Fucking hell. This needs some clarifying that prior to me making this list, I had no idea that we were excluding Israel. So I did make an honest prediction.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming that essentially Brook and Eduardo are just given an honorable mention there. So I'll put an honorable mention on the end of mine. Anyway,
I also didn't include them, to be fair, for when we get to my list. So
I'll be
yes. So the watermelon is them. Yes.
Yeah.
Good job,
and I will say I do appreciate that at least one of us did give a more realistic, because let's be real and honest and genuine. We all know they're qualifying.
Yeah.
All 4 of us can admit that they are most likely qualifying. We all know that.
I don't even think
as much as we don't.
They're going to.
They're going to qualify. We all know it's going to happen. The 3 of us just chose not to, and I know you probably wouldn't have wanted to either. But thank you for having a realistic one.
I'm not going to talk about them, but I'm going to put them where I think they're going to slot in.
And
Austria.
I agree with that.
Austria. It's interesting. There's so much talk on Twitter about how this is not a televote song, and I do not subscribe to that one bit. I do not. I do agree it's more catered to jury, but I still believe in my heart of hearts that this is gonna knock the televote in the semi-final. So I'm putting JJ up the top, especially with what we've heard about the staging details. So I'm very excited to see that on stage. Third, Ishikome, Mother Erica. Again, I believe we're getting close to what we saw in UMK, and I loved what we got in UMK. If anything, I think it just needs a bit of supersizing for the Eurovision stage, and I think based on rehearsal for the in studio rehearsal footage, I think we're gonna get just that. Miriana, I've got fourth. I mean, yeah. I mean, come on now. Everything that's been said, I don't need to repeat because, yeah, it's all been said already. I have Taltomatus in fifth, actually.
Wake it up, Lou. Wake it up.
I do. I'm quite gagged that they're so low in the odds, really, to be honest. Quite astonished. But I would hope that the odds are gonna get completely refreshed once we get the actual footage. Also, yes, again, love the outfits. I've got my Milkshake Man in sixth place. I'm a bit gutted that we're not going to see the whole performance from the arena, because I know that they mentioned that there's a preamble which is specifically going to be shown on the TV stream and not in the arena at all. But I mean, I just love this from Australia. I really do. If anything, we've been shown that Australia is versatile and they're willing to try absolutely anything and everything. And I love that about Australia. There's so much buzz around Gojo. I'm very glad. I was devastated that we didn't get an Australia qualification last year, but I understood why. Here, I think it's their moment to go back into the final. Yeah, they're making the final. I think that's where I was going to say. I think that's my sure qualifiers, but now that I've seen the odds, now I'm not so sure on Totomato. I didn't see the odds until after I made this list, so. But I'm quite gagged that they're so low. Anyway,
they're 13th, which is wild to me. I don't particularly get that at all, honestly.
No, me neither. Esther Marta, 7th.
It's still in the top 10. 7 is still in the top 10.
It's still in the top 10. It's still. I'm making progress.
It'll come together on the stage for you, Lou. I guarantee it. I can feel it.
I love the message behind it. However, I love the meaning behind it. It's one of those that I was like, okay, yeah, I don't fully get it, but I know people do. So I fully expect it to qualify. Luxembourg.
I'm people.
Yeah, Brook is people. Laura Thorne. Part of this is I really want this for Laura. Part of this is I actually think this is a really, really well put together song, and especially with the recent revamp. I know it's been mentioned that it's not taken too much away from the Luxembourg performance. I did enjoy the Luxembourg performance, however. I love the play into the whole puppet themery. I just hope that what's going on behind Laura is slightly more. Granted, yeah, Luxembourg, there wasn't much to do behind because there wasn't many screens and they were like very particular screens. So yeah, I'm interested to see how the graphics for Laura's performance will work out.
Yeah.
I've got Catharsis qualifying. I'm still not sold on the song.
I'm
myself.
happy to see that on your list, though. I'm not going to lie to you. Happy to see it.
Brook mentioned the whole there's not many rock songs with Pag. I think if they're gonna go for a rock song, it's gonna be Tavarakis. To be honest. So yeah. The one thing I said that I liked the most was how monotonal the performance was visually. And I've heard, and if we're trusting the descriptors and everything, it's gonna stay very monotone or atmosphere like the Lithuanian performance. So I'm glad they're not changing that. I didn't expect them to change that, to be fair, though. I think they're getting far too much hate, actually, especially online, especially when most of the hate is, why are they not cheery or whatever, or why are they, and that people think they're being very judgy, and I'm like, I don't think they're being judgy, I just think they're not social, and that's fine. Anyway, I hate people. And finally, I've got Czechia in 10th place. I don't know. I've just seen a lot of the fans online being a fan of this, and I was like, okay, yeah, sure. I don't mind the song in the slightest. I love his vocal, but the song is fine with a weird dance break that is there, and I love the dance break in of itself, but it just feels like a weird switch of gears. And then switching back to the first gear after that dance break. Anyway, we've talked about that in length previously already, so I don't need to talk about that.
Go check out our coverage of Semifinal 2, Part 2, available in Part 4 of our Road to Basel series, available on this channel.
And I do think there's an Adonis effect, I'll call it, where a lot of it is going to be Adonis himself, because Adonis...
Well, yes, he's hot.
Absolutely.
But he's...
Beautiful.
But he's
beautiful.
I did say I was going to honorable mention a country because...
Yes.
And
just do it, Lewis.
Yeah, like a party. I think there's a universe that is absolutely
I see it.
Universe.
I absolutely see it. I do not think, like I said, I think every single country, Brooke, don't do that, because I do think there is a universe. Like I said, I think every single country other than Georgia has a shot to qualify. I do think there is an audience for Emmy. Absolutely. I would not.
People are an audience. I'll give you that.
That's actually I've seen a lot of people being like.
I think it is becoming more and more likely that Ireland does have a shot to qualify. I really do.
People are loving the campness of the staging that they're putting forward. And I think, especially in a televote semi-final with a really, really fucking camp stage with a song like that, I think there's a universe that could qualify, and I would love that for Emmy.
Do I want the song to qualify for me? No. Do I want her to qualify? I wouldn't be upset at her as a person.
She is by far the most inoffensive person I don't want to qualify that could qualify.
Exactly.
So I'll say that.
Ireland as a country qualifying and keeping a 2-year qualification streak, that sounds gorgeous to me.
First time in a
yeah.
long time they have a streak period.
And also, maybe it's because of my little Eurovision focus group I had the other day. Spoiler alert, they were all huge fans of Like a Party. So maybe it's because I have been a part of that bubble that
could happen.
On first listen is huge fans of
it could happen.
the song. So
the casual audience very well could respond very positively to Ireland. I could definitely see it qualifying.
Mm-hmm.
I really could. It is not out of the realm of possibility, and I said that when we covered it. Like, yeah. I genuinely think it. And like I said, I agree with you completely, Brooke. I think she is the single most inoffensive person that if she qualified, I'd be so fine with it because
as a person,
she is a sweetheart. She is a lovely woman. And I think it would be lovely for her and the country of Ireland to qualify. I just still don't personally love the song. The song.
Girl, I wish she was representing with Witchwoods because that song is good.
Me too. It's so good.
It's good. And because I think Eduardo brought it up in our coverage of Semi too. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to be fair and I'm going to go listen to this. That song is good.
Yes,
discography.
Girl,
her discography
bring something like that, and we're down. And by we, I mean me.
But it would have been so similar to Doomsday Blue.
I'm sorry.
You want to call that 2 years in a row, Ireland? France has sent a ballad the last 4 years. I mean, is that 5 years?
I will absolutely die on the hill that I would have much preferred that to Fallen Angel.
Well, absolutely.
Well, yeah. Anyway, thank you, Lewis. Y'all ready for me to be a little crazy again?
Okay, let's do this.
Hey, Brooke.
Yeah, girl.
Don't yell at me, please, okay?
Oh, it's okay. When you don't have Greece in your qualification list, I will keep my mouth muted.
I have a reason, I promise.
Okay.
Hi, Malta.
Okay.
Hi, Malta.
Okay.
So I have reasoning. I have reasoning for everything.
This is
why certain countries are not here. I do have reasoning. So, first and foremost, she's serving. I have faith that Mariana is going to win this semifinal. I do. I think she has the most radio-friendly song in the semifinal. I actually think that the mimosa-sipping wine moms are going to really respond positively to the song, especially because it's in the middle of the semifinal. I actually think that a lot of the casual Eurovision fans are going to respond positively to her.
This and I think Kiss Kiss Goodbye are like textbook mimosa mom wine.
I think so. Yeah, I think a lot of people are. I think a lot of the more average quote unquote Eurovision fans are going to respond really positively to Malta, and especially when Mariana hits that like beautiful big high note at the end. I think it's just a textbook case of a just classic good Eurovision song. She's going to qualify no matter what. She's going to get Malta back to the final, and I'm fucking thrilled for it. And I have nothing but beautiful, lovely, and wonderful things to say about my mother. I'm so happy for her. She deserves nothing but the best. I'm so thrilled to see her in the final. I have Australia second. Because I actually think opening with Milkshake Man is going to be really fun. And the thing that I think is actually going to set it over the edge is something you talked about, Lewis. The specific opening that is TV specific. That is why I have Australia second. Because I think that's going to provide televote voters with a very interesting experience that only we're going to get. I think a lot of people are going to respond really positively to that. I think it's a fun, dumb camp entry. And like we've been talking about, I really appreciate that Australia is back. They're versatile. They're willing to try anything. I agree. I mean, Electric Fields was my second or third place song last year. Like, I fucking love them so fiercely. I still do. I was devastated when they didn't qualify last year, but I agree with you all. I do understand why they didn't qualify. I'm so thrilled for Gojo. It was a shaky live performance. That's what it was.
It wasn't even that bad, though.
It wasn't that bad.
There were worse performances that did qualify.
I will
if we lived in a
also
world where Sarah Bonici qualified and Colleen didn't, I would agree with you. But in a situation where Colleen qualified in Australia and Electric Fields didn't, I still don't get it.
I felt disconnected to Australia's where I did feel connected to Colleen. Like,
I will also say,
when the camera broke.
And it also felt Electric Fields was disconnected from each other.
I will say this, as a person that personally didn't care for the song in and of itself, from Electric Fields last year, my thing about it, mostly why I think it didn't qualify, was because the staging was just straight up bad. It was just not good staging in any way, shape, or form. And I think with better staging, it could have had a better shot. But with this staging that it had, I don't think it had it just kind of killed it, unfortunately. But I do think that Gojo is going to have a much better staging, and therefore it's going to work a lot better.
I agree with that completely. But love Electric Fields. Love them so fiercely. I adore them with every fiber of my being. But yes, I'm so excited for Gojo. I think he's the perfect person to represent them this year. He's going to qualify. Thrilled for him. Mother Erica's going through no matter what. I have her third here just because I think in the semi-final, I don't think she's going to do as well as she's going to do in the final. I think people are going to... I think people might be a little bit more... I think people are going to vote maybe for the Malta and the Australia over Erica in the semi-final, and I think the final is where she's going to get a little bit more votes from people. Just because I think, like, on a Thursday... Are people going to be watching on a Thursday as opposed to a Saturday? I don't know.
Can we also talk about the fact that Logan's top 3 is literally horny, horny, horny?
Yes, obviously.
Horny,
horny, horny, gay mother.
Well, I mean, and importantly, too, we mentioned it with Finland. All 5 of us on this channel, Anissa included, mentioned that we listened to the song, we first heard it, the reactions were good to okay, and then eventually we came around, right? Yep. That is the thing that I worry about with this song, with Kiss Kiss Goodbye as well, is that are they going to have that take that same amount of time to get it? Because for us, I mean, let's be real, we didn't we have a little bit of a different experience with Erica, but specifically with Adonis, right? We liked the song, right? But the video didn't really captivate us, really. It was weird, but it wasn't bad, but it was like fine. And then
we were all a little bit confused with the visual connected to the song. Yeah.
So I'm wondering if the same thing will happen with Erica and Adonis.
Yeah. And to skip ahead for a second, because that was a lot of what I was going to say, because I have Chucky in 7th here. Because that's basically what I was going to say, Brooke. Thank you for the segue. I have Chucky a 7th here for a lot of those similar reasons, just because when we reacted to the music video, we were all a little bit like, oh, the visual's a little strange, but the song is good, but oh, the dance break is interesting, but oh, his vocal is so beautiful and he's so beautiful, but the song is so interesting, and and that's still how I feel about it. Like I said it when we reviewed the song. I love the song until the dance break, and then I skip the song. Like, that is still how I feel about the song. But I love his vocal, and I think he's so lovely. I adore Adonis with every fiber of my being. I have him 7th simply because that's where I have him. That's just where I have him.
Mama, kudos to you for saying that, for spilling.
Thank you. But yeah, no, my top 5 is literally horny, 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 gay mother. Like,
quite literally.
4th, I have Austria. And I understand, to your point, Lewis, I see where you're coming from regarding JJ and it being a televote song. I do agree with you. I think Wasted Love is a televote song. I don't think it's as big of a televote song for the semifinal and for this semifinal as it's going to be in the final. And that's why I have it 4th on my particular list, because I think there are other more semifinal friendly songs here than JJ is in this
I'll
lineup.
give you that.
particularly.
I'll give you that. I expect more casuals to be watching the final as opposed to the semi-final, and that's probably when it's going to probably get the televote.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's going to do so much better televote wise in the final. Like, I definitely think JJ is going to be top 5 in the televote in the final, at the very least top 10. If it's below top 10 in the televote in the final, I genuinely will come on this podcast and be 100% very little gapped, like 100% gapped. But in this semifinal, I have him 4th because I think that feels a little bit more realistic for where I think he'll land. I think he's going to have a solid performance. I think he's going to save a little bit of his vocal because I think he knows, and I think the delegation knows that he's a pretty safe qualifier. So if he saves his vocal a little bit in this semifinal, I wouldn't be surprised, and I don't blame them. I think he's going to go all out still, but I think we're going to see him save a little bit of his great vocal, his exceptional vocal, his absolute standout vocal for when he absolutely needs it in the final. Case in point, I love them dearly, but We Are Domi. Similar, same but different. Not operatic, but same but different. We saw that a few years ago. Love them. But 5th, simply because I want her to be 5th in this semifinal. I do have Mother Seesaw. I just think the song, the vocal, and what we know of her presentation to be, I think it's going to knock people's socks off. I think the reason it's so low in the odds right now is because people are still holding on to what we saw from the MGP performance. We know she's talked about how they've literally scrapped all of that and how it's going to be a completely different concept from what they had at MGP. I think once we start getting rehearsal footage, I think, because we're filming this on Monday the 5th. Breaking the 4th wall here, y'all. We're breaking this on Monday the 5th, Lewis's birthday. AKA Cinco de Mayo, AKA Lulu de Mayo. Once we get rehearsal footage, quote unquote, and we get descriptions of what's happening with Seesaw's rehearsal, watch this space and watch Seesaw jump in the odds. Because I see it happening. Once we know exactly what she's doing and what the visuals look like, watch her jump in the odds. Because I fundamentally believe it's going to happen. Because I think once we know she's doing big, grand, like she's got costume changes, like I think we're going to see it. Once people see the vision, they're going to get it. And I really do think, I think she's going to qualify. I think she's going to qualify. Her vocal alone, I think, is going to bring in casual Eurovision fans. And she's in such a good spot in the semifinal that I think she's got it. I'm manifesting it. I think she's got it. I think she's got it for me personally. Luxembourg, La Poupée Mon Leçon, na 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 na. I think it's fun. It's cute. Like we've been talking about, I think it's going to respond very positively with a younger audience. I think it's going to respond very positively with families. The French diaspora is very strong in the semifinal as well. I think she's in a great spot, especially with the success, as much as we don't like to talk about Tully. I think with the success that Tully did bring for Luxembourg in their re-debut year last year, I think Luxembourg is going to throw a lot of good money behind her this year. I think as long as the staging is improved from the national selection performance and the choreography is a little refined and tuned up a little bit more, I really liked the concept that she had. I love this song. It's one of my personal favorites this year. I think she's a pretty safe qualifier, especially where she's at in the running order as well. I think she's in a great spot to qualify. Czechia, I already talked about. He's beautiful, whatever. 8th is where I have Lithuania. I do have Tavo Akis qualifying for a lot of the same reasons that we've already talked about. We talked about in semifinal 1, Parg being the rock song, but I think it's Tavo Akis is the one that.
Girl, Armenia's in the semifinal.
You said semifinal 1.
You said semifinal 1.
Are they both in this one?
They are both in semi
Yes.
two.
Whatever. I think it's this one. This is the one I think. Fuck it.
Mhm.
Whatever. I'm tired. I think it's Lithuania that we're gonna get. I think Lithuania is a lot more overall Eurovision friendly. I think it's gonna respond really positively with Eurovision fans that prefer more ethnic sounding music. I love that the song is in Lithuanian. We've gotten, 3 songs in Lithuanian qualifying, 3 out of 4 in a row qualifying. And this would be Lithuania's, 4th or 5th straight qualification.
Is the group qualified too?
It would be the 5th straight qualification. The diaspora is always strong for Lithuania. I don't see it being any different this year. I feel really strongly about Lithuania qualifying here. These last 2.
Do the second one first, because I want to end with Montenegro.
Mhm.
That's fine.
I agree.
I will preface by saying the last 2 are where things get a little bit dicey for me, and the last 2 are where things get weird. I have Latvia 10th because there's a couple countries, and honestly, I have the same thoughts about Montenegro and Latvia that I do about 2 other countries in this semifinal. One of them I wasn't going to put on my list regardless because I don't like the man, and that is Serbia. Because I do think there is a universe, unfortunately, where Serbia qualifies. Now, that man would not be on my list, period, point blank, so I wasn't ever going to include him. Unfortunately, the broader Eurovision audience does not understand that man is a horrible man. So, hopefully he doesn't qualify. But the other country that I did toy back and forth with qualifying is Greece, obviously. And I do love Asteromata. I love the song. I love the song dearly. My reasoning for leaving Asteromata off of my list is because of what we know of the songs and the staging between Dobrodošli, Burman Laimi, and Asteromata. Asteromata's staging seems to be the most simple. And it seems to be the most straightforward. And I think what we're going to get from Latvia and Montenegro is going to be a bit more risk-taking. And I think for me, in my list, beyond my obvious bias for Montenegro, I want her to qualify. Frankly, I need Nina Zisic to qualify more than I need Oxygen. Frankly.
Well, we know.
I know. Anyone who's watched any coverage of me talking about Montenegro knows that I need Nina Zisic to qualify more than I need Oxygen myself. I think if I'm comparing Montenegro, Latvia, and Greece, I think Montenegro and Latvia have more opportunities for risk-taking, more opportunities for more dynamic staging. Not that Claudia doesn't, but I'm worried that Greece is going to play it too safe. Because from what we know from what Greece is doing, it sounds like it's just going, and I don't know much about it, so correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like it's just going to be her with dancers around her, and there's not really much else going on with the staging. But it sounds like we're getting a big, dramatic, almost like Proud style staging from Montenegro. And obviously Latvia is going to Latvia and do something very similar to what we saw from them in the national selection. And for me, I am a lot more intrigued in what Nina and Totomaitis are doing in those 2 concepts than what Claudia is doing personally. And that's just me. Do I want Greece to qualify? I would love Greece to qualify. Do I think Greece will qualify? Yeah, probably. Because I think Claudia is a gorgeous performer. I think Greece has the diaspora. And I would love Greece to qualify. I really would. But for my list here currently on this day, conceptually speaking, and that's where I have to it's literally a tiebreaker. I'm splitting hairs. I think conceptually, I like what Montenegro and Latvia have in mind a little bit more than Greece. And that's literally what it is for me on this occasion.
I mean, I've been telling you all season, you got to manifest that qualification for Nina.
I'm going to. I am absolutely going to.
I like Nina a lot. I think Nina is very talented. I think her song is beautiful. If I had to say as to who I wanted to qualify, she would be in my list. I will tell you that right now. Unfortunately for me, she has been borderline dead on arrival for a lot of people, and I hate that for her.
Oh, I know.
And
I'm gonna keep manifesting.
Girl, you gotta
keep doing it.
Girl, the Latvia. Look, we talked about Latvia last video too. The Latvia people showed that your song can be dead last in the odds, but if you keep pushing for it and you keep going for it, suddenly you're getting 18th in the final, right?
Yep.
Like, you never know what's gonna happen. I think it was 18th, somewhere in the mid-teens for Latvia, right? You never know what's going to happen. And I think there is a world where we see Nina Zizic in the final. However, comma, I don't think we live in that world, unfortunately.
I'm really intrigued to see what we get for the staging. I think, and honestly, I would like to see something a la Tamara Tedesca. I actually think that is the route they should go. Because if she does, I think some OG Eurovision fans of like pre-pandemic times will respond positively to that. I think a lot of, and I know this is me just on a ledge by myself. I know it is. And I know I'm talking out of my ass. I know I am. I just think I think there's a universe. I think there's a universe somewhere out deep in the world, deep in the world, where votes are split and, something happens, and by some miracle and like 2 points separate something, and she qualifies 10th. Like, I don't know. I'm praying for a miracle at this point.
Again, stranger things have happened. I could see it. So I would like to comment a little bit on Latvia too. Is it wrong of me to say that I think there's a 0% chance that Latvia is in the final? Realistically, and I hate being that person. I hate being that person, right? I just really think that unfortunately this is going to come down to 9 songs that are locked. There are 9 songs that will be in the final. There is 1 final slot. And when I look at the songs that are in competition for that final slot, Latvia doesn't have the fan support that's needed to get that last spot. I really feel like this is a race between Ireland, Denmark, which I want, and the man I refuse to speak of. He's the 3 people that I feel like are in contention for that spot. I want it to go to Denmark badly, but if it were to go to Ireland or Latvia, I mean, I wouldn't like it if it went to Ireland, but if it went to either of them, cool.
Fair. Fair. Frankly, as long as it's not Serbia, I'm okay.
Real.
Like, genuinely.
There is a world where if that man makes the grand final, I may not watch the grand final, to be honest.
I would 100% support you in that, honestly. Yeah, I would. So. Okay,
manifesting it won't happen. Anyway, yeah.
Manifesting it won't happen. So, who do we have? We have Malta, Australia, Finland, Austria, Denmark, Luxembourg, Czechia,
Lithuania was on all.
Lithuania. Y'all had Lithuania.
I have them all written down.
I didn't have them.
Great.
So-
didn't.
Oh, well then.
Okay.
Oh, well, you have all 10 then. Oh,
Oh,
Hello? Hello? How
Well,
dare
you-
you?
well, no, you popped out, so that's your fault.
I never popped out.
Yes, you did, Diva.
I didn't click anything.
well,
No,
girl, you left the
you
studio.
dropped
We
out.
don't know what
You
happened,
left
but you
the
left the
studio.
studio.
Oh, yeah.
So
Anyways.
yes, it was your fault. Let's go on.
However, comma.
Anyway.
However,
However,
no.
comma. I think I got this right. I hope.
Okay.
I certainly hope so. So we all had Austria, Finland, Malta, Australia, Czechia, Lithuania, and Luxembourg.
Yeah.
Okay, that's 7.
And then the next 3 all got 3 people had them on their list. So the next 3 are Greece, Latvia, and Denmark.
Okay.
So it's my list, basically.
Eduardo, work, Diva.
And then did we each not have one of those 3 on our list?
Yeah,
I didn't have Latvia.
I didn't
I
have
didn't.
Greece.
I didn't have Denmark.
That's so actually fun.
not all of them.
That's fun. Okay, work. Well, then that's our aggregate qualifying list for semifinal 2 of Eurovision 2025.
Let us know
So-
in the comments down below why you think insert random song we didn't pick is going through. Why do you
Like
think that Georgia's qualifying, even though you're crazy for even remotely considering that an
What?
I
option?
was gonna
Oh.
say we literally talked about every song other than Georgia.
I want to hear from the pod crowd, actually.
Hi, Pard Crowd. I'm you. I support you.
Literally.
I support you in this journey.
Where are the Nina Zisich fans? Where are you at? I want to hear
top left
from
corner
you
of this
specifically.
podcast? And that's about
Period.
Leslie
for
Roy.
Oh my god.
Leslie
Listen,
Roy.
oh my god.
Leslie Roy.
I want to hear from the Leica lifers. The Leica
Oh,
lifers.
Jesus
Please comment down below, Leica lifers.
No. With that being said, thank you for joining us for this semifinal 2 prediction video / kind of sort of staging rehearsal, whatever bullshit reaction. Stay tuned because on Saturday we will be doing our jury simulator video. So we will be giving out and showing you all who the Cup thinks will win Eurovision 2025. How fun and cute and different.
Spoiler alert, it's gonna be a song that you may not want to win.
Who knows? Stay tuned to that video as well because we will be giving out exactly what our schedule will be for Eurovision
Oh my
week
God.
as far as lives, as far as
Basel is so pretty.
oh, Basel is pretty.
We were right last year too with that simulator video. We got the right winner. So
We did get the right winner. So
Disregard the
usually
fact that
on the
Malta came in
pulse.
third. I mean,
we always have one pretty off base prediction. So stay tuned. It might be something completely off base. Who knows? But yeah, stay tuned for our jury simulator video where we will be giving out our full schedule for Eurovision week as well. Because full transparency, we haven't exactly figured out what that is yet, and we will be figuring it out for that week. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime, thank you for joining us for this video. Make sure to check out our full 4-part Road to Basel series where we talked about all of the songs in this year, as well as our semifinal 1 prediction video. All of those videos will be linked in the description as well as the end of this video. So tune into those and check out the description where you can find all of our audio podcast links as well as our other YouTube channels, our Patreon, our social media, and where you can get your merch, including but not limited to Cup mug. And make sure to subscribe if you have not already. We greatly appreciate all the support across this channel and all 4 of our channels as we are trying to hit 1,000 new subscribers. Let me clarify, 1,000 new subscribers across all 4 of our channels by the end of the year here at the Cup ESC, as well as the Cup Ringside, the Cup Pod, and the Cup TV. So thank you for the support. We greatly appreciate it. And with all that being said, we are going to go ahead and get out of here. So Europe, Australia, and the world, stop watching this video and go watch another one. Cheers.
Cheers.
sorry,
Cheers.